Hello, my dear children. Welcome to the social science class. Standard 7, Unit 2, Art and Architecture of Tamil Nadu. Children, look at these pictures. There are so many olden day architectural marvels that exist around us even today. Wonders are always wonders. For example, you are the wonders of your parents. As well as in our world also have more wonders. In ancient period, architecture works are unbelievable. Those days, there was no studies, technology about architecture, even though they did it marvelous works. Nowadays, special courses are available about architecture. Nearly 33,000 ancient temples, many at least 800 to 2000 years old, are found scattered all over Tamil Nadu. Sittanna Vasal, Tanjavur paintings of Tamil Nadu are a stamp of the rich culture heritage of India. Children, architecture is just one word, but when you travel and realize what people have done those days is just amazing and shows talents in many different ways. Okay, children, let us see this topic. Dravidian architecture is of indigenous origin, that means native origin. It advanced over time by a process of evolution. The earliest examples of the Tamil Dravidian architectural tradition were the 7th century rock-cut shrines at Mahabalipuram. The absence of monuments in South India prior to the 7th century is attributed by scholars to the temples ought to have been built in wood, which were eventually destroyed by force of nature. In Tamil Nadu, the evolution of temple architecture took place in 5 stages. The Pallava epoch, 600 AD to 850 AD. Early Chola epoch, 850 AD to 1100 AD. Later Chola epoch, 1100 AD to 1350 AD. Vijayanagara or Nayak epoch, 1350 AD to 1600 AD. And modern epoch after 1600 AD. Let us see about Pallava epoch, that is 600 AD to 850 AD. The Pallava epoch witnessed a transition from rock-cut to freestanding temples. Rock-cut temples were initially built by carving a rock to the required design, and then rocks were cut to build temples. The Pallava king Mahendravarman was a pioneer in rock-cut architecture. Mandagapattu temple was the first rock-cut temple built by him. The rock-cut cave structure has 2 pillars in the front that hold it. All the cave temples have simple santham cut on the rear sides of the wall with a frontage projecting mandapa. On either side are 2 Dwarapalas, that is gatekeepers. This cave architecture reached its decadent phases after AD 700 and gave way to the large structural temples, probably because the structural temples provided a wider scope to the sculptor to use his skill. The shore temple at Mahabalipuram, also called the Seven Pagodas, was built by the Pallava king Narasimhavarman II. It is the oldest structural temple in South India. The structural temples were built using blocks of rock instead of a whole block as earlier. Narasimhavarman II, also known as Rajasimha, built the Kanchi Kailasanatha temple. The Vaikunta Perumal temple at Kanchipuram was built by Nandivarman II. Mahabalipuram is built of cut stones rather than carved out of caves. It has two shrines, one dedicated to Shiva and the other to Vishnu. The Tamil Dravida tradition is exemplified by rock-cut monuments such as Pancha Pandava Rathas, namely Draupadi Ratha, Dharmaraja Ratha, Bhima Ratha, Arjuna Ratha, and Nagula Sahadeva Ratha. The outer walls of the Rathas, especially of Arjuna, Bhima, and Dharmaraja, are decorated with niches and motifs. Niches means especially in a wall to display a statue. That is, silai vaikkapadum idam. Motifs means a decorative design forming a pattern in an artist work. Kalai Panbu Kuru. The niches have the sculptures of gods and goddess, monarch, and scenes from mythology. The Arjuna's pennants, curved on the face of a granite boulder, is a magnificent relief measuring approximately 100 feet long by 45 feet high. Pandya temples in the Pallava epoch. Early Pandyas were the contemporaries of the Pallavas. More than 50 cave temples have been found in different parts of the Pandyan Empire. The most important of them are found in Malayadi Kurichi, Anaimalai, Tiruparakundram, and Tiruchirappalli. These caves were dedicated to Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma. In the Shiva temple of Pandyas, the linga is carved out of the mother rock. The figure of Nandi is also carved out of the rock. The Shiva lingam in the Sangam is installed in the center with enough space all around it. The Sangam also has a drainage canal. The pillars are divided into 3 parts and are of different sizes. The pillars have no uniform ornamentation. The backside walls are divided into 4 niches on which the bas relief images of Shiva, Vishnu, Durga, Ganapati, Subramania, Surya, Brahma, and Saraswati are curved out. The Dwarapalas figure on either side of Sangam. Rock cut and structural temples are significant part of the Pandya architecture. The illustrious, that means famous example for rock cut style is unfinished Kalugumalai Vetuvan Koil temple. Children, take a look at this amazing structure called Vetuvan Koil in Tamil Nadu. The peculiarity of this temple is that it is completely curved into a single huge rock. That is the Vetuvan Koil, a monolithic temple at Kalugumalai, like the Kailasa temple in the Ellora caves. At the top of the temple, sculptures of Uma Maheshwarar, Dakshinamurti, Vishnu and Brahma are found. Meenakshi Amman temple in Madurai and Nellayappar temple in Tirunelveli represent examples of Pandya architectural style. Sculptures. The walls of the caves are decorated with a bas relief of the gods and goddess. In the case of structural temples, the walls of the sanctums are free from image decorations. Instead, the superstructures and the pillars have the sculptures. The sculptures look majestic, having elaborate shoulders, slim bodies, beautiful ornaments, and high crowns. Mainly, many early Pandya images unearthed from Madurai and its surrounding area are now in Tirumalai Nayakar Museum at Madurai. Children, do you visit Sittanavasal? Caves at Sittanavasal, 15 kilometers away from Pudukottai, and at Tirumalapuram in Sankaran Koil Taluk, Tirunelveli district, have outstanding early Pandya paintings. Sittanavasal was a residential cave of the Jain monks. They painted the walls with fresco painting. Unfortunately, we have lost many of those paintings. Among the surviving ones, the Lotus Pond is notable for its excellent execution of colors and expositions of the scenes. The image of lotus flowers, leaves spread all over the pond, animals, elephants, buffaloes, swans, and a man who plucks the flowers look brilliant. The Sittanavasal paintings have similarity with the Ajanta paintings. Tirumalapuram, from where we get early Pandya paintings, are in a damaged condition. Let us see about the early Chola epoch. The Cholas came to limelight in AD 850 under Vijayalaya Chola and continued to govern the region for about 400 years. For the early Chola epoch, the temple at Darapuram near Dindivanam in Tamil Nadu is worth mentioning. The early Chola architecture followed the style of Sambian Mahadevi. Temples with the increased number of Devakosta figures can be classified as belonging to the Sambian style. Tirupuram Ambian is an famous example of early temple that was refashionized in the days of Sambian Mahadevi. Children, let us see about later Chola epoch. The maturity attained by Chola architecture is reflected in the two magnificent temples of Tanjavur and Kangaikonda Cholapuram. The magnificent Tanjavur Big Temple, dedicated to Shiva, completed around 1009 AD, is a fitting memorial to the material achievements of the time of Raja Raja. Let us know about Tanjavur Big Temple. At the time, the big temple of Tanjavur was constructed. It was a huge temple complex. The 216 feet Vimana structure over the Garbhagriha is notable as it is one among the tallest man-made shikaras of the world. Due to its massive height, the shikara is called the Dakshina Meru. The huge bull statue, that is Nandi, measured about 16 feet long and 13 feet height, and it is carved out of a single rock. Children, let us know about Gangaikonda Cholapuram. Gangaikonda Cholapuram served as the Chola capital for about 250 years until the decline of the Cholas and the rise of the Pandyas. The Prakatishwara temple of Gangaikonda Cholapuram, built by Rajendra Chola, is undoubtedly as worthy a successor to the Prakatishwara temple of Tanjavur. The height of the temple is 55 meters. The sanctum has 2 stories, as in the big temple at Tanjavur. The outer wall has many projections with niches and recesses on 3 sides. In the niches there are the images of Shiva, Vishnu and other gods. The temple complex has the shrines of Chandeshwarar, Ganesha and Mahisasura Mardini. Dwaraswaram near Kumbakonam is a later Chola period temple rich in architectural splendors, dedicated to Airavetheswara, that is Lord Shiva as god of Lord Indra's elephant. Rajaraja II constructed Dwaraswaram temple. This temple is another landmark of the Chola architecture. The Maha Mandapam is an elaborate structure. The entire structure looks like a Radha because it has 4 wheels at the Maha Mandapam. The sanctum and pillars have many sculptures which are miniatures of various mythological figures. A compound wall runs around the temple with a gopuram. The contribution of later Pandyas to the South Indian art was significant. A case in point is the cave temple at Pillayarpatti near Karaikudi in Tamil Nadu, belonging to 13th century. This temple is important both for its sculptures and for an inscriptions. A beautiful Ganesha is curved facing the entrance. The importance of the figure referred to Desya Vinayaka in the cave inscription is that there are two arms with the trunk turning to the right. Let us see about Vijayanagara epoch. During the Vijayanagara epoch, a new form of construction emerged. It is the mandapam, to where the gods are carried every year. Pillared outdoor mandapams are meant for public rituals, with the ones in the east serving as the waiting room for devotees which adore the large temples. These mandapams attract attention for its monolithic pillars. On these pillars are sculptured horses, lions, and the gods. The Kalyana Mandapam at Kanchipuram and at Vellore are notable examples. The most celebrated of these mandapams in temple of Madurai in the Pudu Mandapam. The main features of the Vijayanagar and Nayak architecture are decorated mandapams, ornamental pillars, lifestyle images, gopuras, pargaras, music pillars, floral works, and stone windows during the 15th to 17th centuries. Tanks are attached to the temples. Gateways to temples are constructed from four directions with massive gopurams. The practice of fitting the niches with sculptures continued during the Nayak period. There was an increased use of major sculptured figure as found at the Alakya Nambi temple at Tirukundrangudi, Tirunelveli district, and the Gopala Krishna temple in the Ranganatha temple complex at Srirangam. The southern festival mandapam of Adinatha temple and Nallayapar temple at Tirunelveli are other notable examples. In Tamil Nadu, the image of deities attached to composite columns gradually freed themselves from the core column. The 1,000-pillar mandapam of the Meenakshi Sundaraswara temple, Pudu Mandapam at Madurai, Radhi Mandapam at Tirukundrangudi, and Vanamamalai temple at Nanguneri are examples, famous examples for the mandapam architecture of Vijayanagar and Nayak period. The pillars of this period are more decorative than the previous period. Monolithic, gigantic Yari pillars, horse pillars with life-size portraits of mythological and royal family members, common folk animals, and floral works were made. Musical pillars were the peculiar features of this time. A sitting line at the top of the pillars is a common feature in the mandapams. The windows are curved out of on the walls of the sangdam and mandapams. Tanjavur are the more remarkable evidence of this time. Vijayanagar and Nayak paintings are seen at Kanjipuram, Madurai, Srivilliputtur, Alagar Kovil, Tiruvannamalai and Srirangam. The paintings mostly have the stories from Ramayana, palace scenes and mythological stories. Let us see about modern period. The Sethupadis as the feudatories of Madurai Nayaks, that is Nilaprabhukkal, ruled Ramanathapuram and contributed to the Ramanatha Swami temple architecture. The temple of Rameswaram, the predominance of corridors is striking. It is claimed that this temple has the longest set of corridors in the world. The temple has 3 sets of corridors. The outer set of the temple's corridors has a height of almost 7 meters and structures for about 120 meters in both the eastern and western directions. The corridors to the north and to the south, on the other hand, are about 195 meters in length. The outer corridor is also remarkable for the number of pillars that support it, which is over 1200 in numbers. Moreover, many of these pillars are decorated by ornate carving. The innermost set of corridors is the oldest of the 3. Children, let us see summary of this lesson. In sum, the Pallava period features sculptural rocks. The early Chola period was marked by grand vimanas. The later Chola period was known for beautiful gopurams. Vijayanagar period's unique features was the mandapam, and the modern period was when corridors were given prominence. Children, Tamil Nadu best known for its cultural heritage and divine historic temples is a unique and captivating in its own right. The rich artist and architecture heritage of Tamil Nadu makes it an ideal destination for those who love history.